Hi guys, I'm back. Today I'm going to read Jeremiah 17 to 22, Proverbs 4, and Psalm 39. Let's get started. The snake of Judah is written with a pen of iron, with a point of diamond is engraved on the tablet of their heart, and on the horns of their altars. While their children remember their altars in the Asher, beside every green tree and on the high hills, on the mountains in the open country. Your wealth and all your treasures I will give for spoil as the price of your high places for sin throughout all your territory. You shall loosen your hand from your heritage that I gave to you. Then I will make you serve your enemies in the land that you do not know. For in my anger a fire is kindled that shall burn forever. Thus says the Lord, cursed is the man who trusts in man and makes flesh his strength, whose heart turns away from the Lord. He is like a shrub in the desert and shall not see any good come. He shall dwell in the parched places of the wilderness, in an uninhabited solid land. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is in the Lord. He is like a tree planted by water that sends out its roots by the stream, and does not fear when he comes, for its leaves remain green, and it is not anxious in the year of drought. For it does not cease to bear fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately sick. Who can understand it? I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind, and to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. Like partridge that gathers a brood that she do not hatch, so is he who gets riches but not by justice. In the midst of his days they will leave him, and at his end he will be a fool. A glorious threat set on high is from the beginning, and is the place of our sanctuary. O Lord, the hope of Israel, all who forsake you shall be put to shame. Those who turn away from you shall be ruined in the earth. For they have forsaken the Lord, the fountain of living water. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved. For you are my praise. Behold, they say to me, where is the word of the Lord? Yet let it come. I have not run away from being a shepherd, nor have I desired the day of the sickness. You knew what came out of my lips. It was before your face. You know how terror to me. You are my refuge in the day of disaster. And those who be put to shame, who persecute me, let me not be put to shame. Let them be dismayed. Let me not be dismayed. Bearing upon them the day of disaster, of destroying them with double destruction. Thus says the Lord to me, and stand in the people's gate, by which the kings of Judah enter, and by which they go up, and in all the gates of Jerusalem, and say, hear the word of the Lord, you kings of Judah, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem, who enter by these gates. Thus says the Lord, take care for the sake of your lives, and do not bear a burden on the Sabbath day, or bring it in the gates of Jerusalem. And do not carry a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath, or do any work. That keep the Sabbath day holy, as I command your father. That they did not listen or incline their ear, but stiffen their neck, and they might not hear and receive instruction. If you listen to me, declares the Lord, and bring in no burden by the gate of the city on the Sabbath day, now keep the Sabbath day holy, and do no work on. And they shall enter by the gates of the city, kings and princes, and sit on the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, they and their officials, the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And this city shall be inhabited forever, and people shall come from the cities of Judah and the places around Jerusalem, and the land of Benjamin, from the Shepherd, from the hill country, and from the Negev, bring burnt offerings and sacrifices, grain offerings and frankincense, and bring thank offerings to the house of the Lord. But if you do not listen to me, to keep the Sabbath day holy, and not to bear burden, and enter by the gates of Jerusalem on the Sabbath day, then I will kindle a fire in its gates, and shall devour the palaces of Jerusalem, and shall not be quenched. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord. Arise, and go down to the potter's house, and there I will let you hear my word. So he went down to the potter's house, and there he was working at his wheel, and the vessel he was making of clay was spoiled in his potter's hand, and he reworked it into another vessel, as it seemed good to the potter to do. And the word of the Lord came to me, O house of Israel, can I not do with you as this potter has done? Declares the Lord, behold, like the day in the potter's hand, and so are you in my hand, O house of Israel. If at any time I declare concerning a nation or a kingdom, that I will pluck up and break down and destroy, and if that nation concerning which I have spoken turns from its evil, I will relent of the disaster that I intended to do to it. And if at any time I declare concerning a nation or a kingdom, that I will build and plant, and if it does any evil in my sight, not listening to my voice, then I will relent of the good that I had intended to do to it. Now therefore say to the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, thus says the Lord, behold, I am shaping disaster against you, and devising a plan against you. Return every one from his evil way, and amend your ways and your deeds. But they say, that is in vain. You will follow our own plans, and every one act according to the stubbornness of his evil heart. Therefore thus says the Lord, ask among the nations, who has heard the like of this? The virgin Israel has done a very horrible thing. The snow of Lebanon leaf, the cries of Syrian, that the mountain waters ran dry, the cold flung stream, and my people have forgotten me. They make offerings to false gods, they made them stumble in their way, in the ancient road, and to walk in desire is not the highway, making their land horror, a thing to be hissed at forever. Everyone who passes by is horrified and shakes his head. Like the east wind, I will scatter them before the end. I will show them my back, not my face, in the day of their calamity. And they say, Come, let us make a against Jeremiah. And the law shall not perish from the priest, nor counsel from the wise, nor the word from the prophet. Come, let us strike him with the tongue, and let us not pay attention to any of his words. Hear me, O Lord, and listen to the voice of my adversaries. Should good be repaid with evil, and a day's dug a pit for my life. Remember how I stood before you, to speak good for them, to turn away your wrath from them, therefore deliver up their children to famine. Give them over to the power of the sword. Let their wives become childless and widow. May their men meet death by pestilence, their youth be struck down by the sword and battle. May a cry be heard from their houses, when you bring the plunderer suddenly upon them, when they have dug a pit to take me, and lay snares for my feet. Yet you, O Lord, know all their plotting to kill me. Forgive them in their iniquity, nor blot out their sin from your sight. Let them be overthrown before you. Deal with them in the time of your anger. Lest this Lord go by a potter's earthenware flask, and take some of the elders of the people, and some of the elders of the priests, and go to the valley of the son of Hinnom, and at the entry of the potsherd gate, and proclaim there the words that I tell you. You shall say, Hear the word of the Lord, O kings of Jerusalem, and Judah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. Behold, I am bringing such disaster upon this place, that the ears of everyone who hears it will tingle, because the people have forsaken me, and have profaned this place by making offerings in it to other gods, to whom neither they nor their fathers nor the kings of Judah have. And because they have filled this place with the blood of innocents, and have filled the high places of Baal, to burn their sons in the fire, and the fire has burnt offerings to Baal, which I did not command or decree, nor did it come into my mind. Therefore, behold, days are coming, declares the Lord, and this place shall no more be called Tophet, nor the valley of the son of Hinnom, but the valley of slaughter. And in this place I will make void the plans of Judah and Jerusalem, and I will cause their people to fall by the sword before their enemies, and by the hand of those who seek their life. And I will give their dead bodies for food to the birds of the air, and to the beasts of the earth. And I will make the sea a horror, a thing to hiss. Everyone who passes by will be horrified, and will hiss because of all its wounds. And I will make them eat the flesh of their sons and their daughters. And everyone shall eat the flesh of his neighbour in the sea, and in their distress, with which their enemies and those who seek their life will afflict them. And you shall break the flask in the side of the men who go with you, and you shall say to them, Thus says the Lord of hosts, So I will break this people in the sea, as one breaks a potter's vessel, so that it can never be mended. And it shall bury in Topheth, because there will be no place else to bury. Thus will I do to this place, declares the Lord, and to its inhabitants, making the sea like Topheth, and the houses of Jerusalem, and the houses of the kings of Judah, all the houses on whose roof offerings have been offered to all the hosts of heaven, and drink offerings have been poured out to other gods, shall be defiled like the place of Topheth. And Jeremiah came from Topheth, where the Lord had sent him to prophesy, and he stood in the corner of the Lord's house and said to all the people, Thus says the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Behold, I am bringing upon the sea and upon the Lord's towns all the disaster that I pronounced against it, because they have stiffened their neck, refusing to hear my word. Now Pashur the priest, the son of Immer, who was chief officer in the house of the Lord, heard Jeremiah prophesying these things. And Pashur beat Jeremiah the prophet, put him in the stocks that went at the gate of the house of the Lord. The next day when Pashur released Jeremiah from the stocks, Jeremiah said to them, The Lord does not call your name Pashur, but terror on every side. The Lord, thus says the Lord, Behold, I will make you a terror to yourself and to all your friends. You shall fall by the sword of their enemies while you look on, and I will give all Judah into the hand of the king of Babylon. He shall carry them captive to Babylon, and shall strike them down with the sword. Moreover, I will give all the wealth of this sea, and all its gates, all its prized belongings, and all the treasures of the king of Judah, into the hand of their enemies. You shall plunder them and seize them and carry them to Babylon. Then you, Pashur, all who dwell in your house, shall go into captivity. To Babylon you shall go, and they shall die, and they shall be buried. You and all your friends, to whom you prophesy falsely. O Lord, you have deceived me, and I was deceived. You are stronger than I, and you prevail. I have become a laughing stock all the day. Everyone mocks me, for whenever I speak, I cry. I shout violence and destruction. And the word of the Lord has become before me. I reproach and adoration all day long. If I say I will not mention him or speak any more in his name, but there is in my heart as it were a burning fire, shut up in my bones, and I am weary with holding it in, and I cannot, for I hear many whispering. Terrors on every side, denounce him, let us denounce him, say all my close friends, watching for my fall. Perhaps he will be deceived, then we can overcome and take our revenge on him. But the Lord is with me as a dread warrior. Therefore my persecutors will stumble. They will not overcome me. They will be greatly ashamed. They will be greatly ashamed, for they will not succeed. The eternal dishonor will never be forgotten. And Lord of hosts, who tests the righteous, who sees the heart and mind, let me see your vengeance upon them. For to you have I committed my cause. Sing to the Lord and praise the Lord, for he has delivered the life of the needy from the hand of the evildoers. Cursed be the day on which I was born, the day when my mother bore me, let it not be blessed. Cursed be the man who brought the news to my father. The son is born to you, making him very glad. Let that man be like the seas that the Lord overthrew without pity. Let him hear a cry in the morning and enlighten me, because he did not kill me in the womb. So my mother would have been my grave, and her womb forever grave. Why did I come out from the womb to see toil and sorrow, and spend my days in shame? This is the word that came to Jeremiah from Reuben. When King Zedekiah sent to him Pashur the son of Malchiah, and Zephaniah the priest, the son of Manasseh, saying, Inquire the Lord for us, for Nebuchadnezzar the king of Babylon is making war against us. Perhaps the Lord will deal with us according to all his wonderful deeds, and will make him withdraw from us. Then Jeremiah said to them, Thus you shall say to Zedekiah, Thus says the God of Israel, Behold, I will turn back the weapons of war that are in your hand, and with which you are fighting against the king of Babylon and against the Chaldeans, who are besieging you outside the walls. And I will bring them together into the midst of the sea. I myself will fight against you with outstretched arm and strong arm, in anger and fear and in great wrath. And I will strike down the inhabitants of the city, both man and beast. They shall die of great pestilence. Afterward declares the Lord, I will give Zedekiah king of Judah and his servants and the people in the city who survived the pestilence, sword, and famine into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon. And into the hand of their enemies, into the hand of those who seek their life, and he shall strike them down with the edge of the sword. He shall not pity them, or spare them, or have compassion. And to the people shall say, Thus says the Lord, Behold, I set you before the way of life and the way of death. He who stays in the sea shall die by the sword, by famine, and by pestilence. But he who goes out and surrenders to the Chaldeans who are besieging you shall live, and shall have his life as a present. For I have set my face against the sea for harm and not for good, declares the Lord. It shall be given into the hand of the king of Babylon, and he shall burn it with fire. And to the house of the king of Judah say, Hear the word of the Lord, O house of David. And thus says the Lord, execute justice in the morning, and deliver from the hand of the oppressor him who has been robbed, lest my wrath go forth like fire, and burn with none to quench it, because of your evil deeds. Behold, I am against you, O inhabitant of the valley, O rock of the plain, declares the Lord. You who say, Who shall come down against us, or who shall enter our habitation? I'll punish you according to the fruit of your deeds, declares the Lord. I'll kindle fire in her voice, and shall devour all that is around her. Thus says the Lord, go down to the house of the king of Judah, speak this way, and say, Hear the word of the Lord, O king of Judah, who sits on the throne of David, you and your servants, and your people who enter these gates. Thus says the Lord, do justice and righteousness, and deliver from the hand of the oppressor him who has been robbed. And do no wrong or violence to the resident alien, the fatherless, and the widow, nor shed innocent blood in this place. But if you will indeed obey this word, then they shall enter the gates of this house, the kings who sit on the throne of David, riding in chariots and on horses, they their servants and their people. But if you will not obey these words, I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that this house shall become a desolation. For thus says the Lord concerning the house of the king of Judah, you are like Gilead to me, like the summer of Lebanon. Yet surely I will make you a desert and an uninhabited city. I will prepare destroyers against you, each with his weapon, and they shall cut down your choicest sets and cast them into the fire. And many nations will pass by the sea, and every man will say to his neighbor, Why has the Lord dealt thus with this great city? And they'll answer, Because they have forsaken the covenant of the Lord their God, and worship other gods instead of them. We not for him who is dead, nor grieve for him, but weep bitterly for him and goes away, for he shall return no more to see his native land. Thus says the Lord concerning Jun, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, who reigned instead of Josiah his father, and who went away from this place. He shall return here no more, but in the place where they've carried him captive, there shall he die, and he shall never see this land again. Woe to him who builds his house by unrighteousness, and to his upper rooms by injustice, and makes his neighbor serve him for nothing, and does not give him his wages. He says, I'll build myself a great house with spacious upper rooms, who cuts out windows for and howling it with cedar and painting it with vermilion. Do you think that you are a king because you compete in cedar? Did not your father eat and drink and do justice and righteousness? Then it was well with him. He judged the cause of the poor and needy. Then it was well. Is not this to know me, declares the Lord, but you have eyes and heart only for your dishonest gain, for shedding innocent blood, and for practicing oppression and violence. Therefore thus says the Lord concerning Jehoiakim, the son of Josiah, king of Judah, they shall not labour for him, saying, Oh, my brother, oh, our sister. They shall not labour for him, saying, Ah, Lord, oh, ah, his majesty. If the burial of a donkey, he shall be buried. Dragged and dumped beyond the gate of Jerusalem. Go up to Lebanon and cry out, and lift up your voice in passion. Cry out from Lebanon. For all your lovers are destroyed. I spoke to you in your prosperity, but you said, I'll not listen. This has been your way from me, that you have not obeyed my voice. The wind shall shepherd all your shepherds, and your lovers shall go into captivity. Then you will be ashamed and confounded, because of all your evil. O inhabitant of the bed, listed among the stars, now you will be pitied when pangs come upon you. Pain is of a woman in labor, as I live to close the law. Though Coney, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, who has a signet ring on my right hand, yet I will tear you off, and give you into the hand of those who seek your life, into the hand of those of whom you are afraid, even into the hand of Bacchus, king of Babylon, and into the hand of the Chaldeans. I will hurl you and the mother who bore you into another country, where you were not born, and there you shall die, but to the land to which they will long to return, there they shall not return. Is this man Coney a despised broken pot, a vessel no one cares for? Why are he and his children hurled and cast into a land that they do not know? O land, 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 hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, write this man down as childless, a man who shall not succeed in his days, for none of his offspring shall succeed in sitting on the throne of David and ruling again in Judah. Proverbs 4. Here are sons of father's instruction, be attentive that you may gain insight, for I give you good precepts, do not forsake my teaching. When I was a son with my father, tender, the only one inside of my mother, he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my word, keep my commandments and live, get wisdom, get insight, do not forget, and do not turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake, and she will keep you, love her, and she will guard you. The beginning of the wisdom is this, get wisdom, and whatever you get insight. Prize her highly, and she will exalt you, and she will honor you if you embrace her. She will place on your head a graceful garland, she will bestow on you a beautiful crown. Hear my son, and accept my words. Accept my word, that the years of your life, many, have taught you the way of wisdom, and that you in the path of uprightness, when you walk, your step will not be hampered. And if you run, you will not stumble. Keep hold of instruction. Do not let go, guard over shoes of life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of the evil. You avoid it, do not go, and turn away from it and pass on. For they cannot sleep unless they have done wrong. They are robbed of sleep unless they made someone stumble. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And the path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day. The way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know over what they stumble. My son, be attentive to my words, incline your ear to my saying. Let them not escape from your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them, and healing to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. Put away from you crooked speech, and put devious talk far from you. Then your eyes look directly forward, and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil. Psalm 39. I said, I will guard my ways, that I may not sin with my tongue. I will guard my mouth with a muzzle, so long as the wicked are in my presence. I was mute and silent, I held my peace to no avail. And my distress grew worse. My heart became hot within me, as I made them fire burn. And I spoke with my tongue. O Lord, make me know my end, and what is the measure of my days. Let me know how fleeting I am. Behold, you have made my days a few handbreadths, and my lifetime is as nothing before you. Surely all mankind stands as a mere breath. Surely a man goes about as a shadow. Surely for nothing they are in turmoil. Man heaps his wealth, and does not know who will gather. And now, O Lord, for what do I weigh? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the scorn of the fool. I am mute. I do not open my mouth. For it is you who have done it. Remove your stroke from me. I am spent by the hostility of your hand. When you discipline a man with a rebuke for a sin, you consume like a moth that is dead. What is D10? Surely all mankind is a mere breath. Hear my prayer, Lord, and give ear to my cry. Hold not your peace of my tears, for I am a sojourner with you. O guest, like all my fathers, look away from me that I may smile again, before I depart and am no more. Now the done, I shall add to the Lord's prayer. Raise my head to Father in heaven. Hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as yours to forgive our debtors. Lead not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. See you tomorrow. Bye.